Oh my, I never left you. Yeah, I never left you. Today, I want to discuss racism in the Premier League football, or in football in general. Does football have a racism problem, or is it a wider social issue that trickles down into football? Well, I'm going to say this. You have certain black players, probably Asian, as well as like Chinese and Japanese players that are racially abused, but highlighted are the black players and their abuse. So let's look at this. Is it a case that only good black football players suffer racist abuse? Walk with me. Just walk with me. Just put on your clothes and come outside and have a walk with me so we can discuss this. And if you don't want to come outside because it's too cold inside because of British weather, I'll come to you. Let's walk around your front room. Just walk with me. Some people might not want to agree, but I personally think Sterling Raheem from Man City is a good football player. He gets racial abuse. I know Ian Wright suffered racial abuse from Arsenal. Good player. He suffered it. I'm not too sure, I didn't hear too much whether Drogba suffered racial abuse, but I would say more than likely, as a good player, Drogba suffered racial abuse. Troy Deeney recently on the weekend for Watford, FA Cup win, 3-2 over Wolves. Great game, great match. Troy Deeney, some people might say he's the best footballer, but he's a battler. I don't know much about Deeney Troy, but he looks like he's a battler and he knows his way to goal. So that's half and half. Half of a good player, maybe half of a rubbish player. But the half that's good got the racial abuse on the weekend. If you look at it differently now, Benteke, who don't get any goals, does he suffer racial abuse? Hell no! Does Rondon, previously of Stoke, scored 4 goals for Stoke for all the time they were up when Stoke was in the Premier League? Because of Rondon, you got relegated because he didn't score enough. Does Rondon suffer racial abuse? No. Does Llorente for Tottenham suffer racial abuse? You say, but Llorente is white. But if he was black, would he suffer racial abuse? No, because he doesn't get enough goals. On the other hand, Aguero, if he was black, would he suffer racial abuse? Yes. So the point I'm making, is it only good black players that suffer racial abuse, or is it the rubbish ones as well? Because you just can't say it's across the board. I'm not too sure. It's a tricky one. But obviously it's a social issue, and I suppose if there was no racism in, it's like football was a good monitor, a good gauge to decipher racism. If there was less racism at football, you could say maybe society had calmed down a bit with racism. But I don't want to go too far. John Barnes, he's right. It's a social issue, so I'll leave all that talk for John Barnes. But 2 more players I wanted to quickly discuss when it comes to racism: Jermaine Genius and Rio Ferdinand. So let's look at Jermaine Genius. He retired. No one even knew that he retired. I thought he was still playing until I saw him on TV talking one week. But then I thought he was going to play the next week. But then he came on TV again talking the next week. I thought, oh, he must be injured. I thought he was going to play the week after. Nope, he's back on the TV talking. I was like, oh, okay. Is he a commentator now? So basically, Jermaine Genius did not get racial abuse when he was a player. I don't know if it's because he wasn't a good player, but he doesn't seem to have suffered it. But now he's a commentator. He's quite a good commentator. So maybe now he's going to get racial abuse because he's a good commentator. Rubbish player, good commentator. Still equals racial abuse. Now, Rio Ferdinand. I'd never heard of Rio personally suffering racial abuse. But I think there's a reason Rio Ferdinand didn't suffer racial abuse. Because, you know, Rio, probably, I don't know him or anything like that, but from you see how he goes on the pitch, and he wanted a boxing license. He wanted a boxing license recently, but they turned him down, maybe because he's too much of a madman. Like, they can't give a man like him a boxing license. That's why he didn't get racial abuse. Because you know the minute you call Rio, you dish Rio, you black that, he jump in the barrier, thump man in their face, you know. That's what I personally think Rio would have done. So on that, I'm leaving it as maybe only good black players get racially abused and the rubbish ones don't.